Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight to remain the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, in the home of the
Good afternoon. It's early evening now, and welcome to the PAD, People Against Distracted Driving, race for the month of March. Today we're at the beautiful Talladega, Alabama. We're going to race 113 laps here at Talladega today. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Techstar, Drive Alive, Thumbtide, Teen Driving, CD Graphics, No Tech Zone, Helping Hands Program, and all of our sponsors that make this wonderful race possible. Today's race is a special event for PAD. We're dedicating this race to our good friend Sam Bass. Sam was out in February, missed the Daytona race, and he was in the hospital. He is at home now. He was back in the gallery some this past week, and we'd like for you to help us support Sam Bass Galleries. SamBass.com. Sam is one of the original artists for NASCAR, and has a great new piece out called The Return of the Three, but that's available at Sam Bass. You can call them. If you call up there to place an order, talk to Carrie, tell her you heard about it on the pad race, and she will fix you up, get your item shipped to you. Great stuff. There's a very limited number of the prints for the Return of the Three available, so call up there and take care of that. We're getting ready to go green here in just a few minutes. Got an exciting front row today. Very rarely do you ever see almost a dead heat tie for qualifying. Jason Loy qualified on the pole with a 51.018, and official scoring early on had LG tied with him, but now it's showing a 51.019. So our front row is Jason Loy, LG Whaley. Helgi Gravemeyer is starting third, Tony Oldham fourth, Jason Beach fifth, Philip Carsley sixth, Ryan Bouchard seventh, Joe Thompson is in eighth spot, Brian Bouchard in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is Michael Van Dulce. So get ready to enjoy a great race here at Talladega. Pace car is pulled away, and we're getting ready to take the green flag. In the race today, we've got several Sam Bass paint schemes. So as you go through the field today, take notice of the drivers that are running the special Sam Bass paint schemes. We had two qualifiers yesterday. The top 14 drivers from each of those qualifiers has made this field today, and this is some of the best racers in iRacing right here on the track this evening from Talladega, Alabama. Beautiful, partly cloudy day here, 80 degrees with the winds 5 miles an hour out of the north. Here at Talladega, this very unique start-finish line. It's normally in the middle of the tri-oval, but here at Talladega, the start-finish line is beyond pit exit. So as these guys come through the tri-oval, they're waiting on the flagman to unfurl that green flag. Pace car is getting ready to pull off the track, and we'll be going green momentarily. The green flag is out. LG Whaley's got a great jump on the outside. Jason Loy on the bottom. They cross the flat stripe almost in a dead heat. Crank up that sound and listen to these trucks as they roar by to turn 1 and 2. We had 32 trucks take the green flag today, and they're still 2 by 2 as we go here on wrapping up lap number 1. That bottom line is pulled away just a little bit. LG Whaley on the outside. has dropped back to 6th position as we start lap number 2 here at Talladega. I think Jason may have dropped, LG may have dropped back to pick up his drafted partner, Jason Beach. They practiced well together today, and in practice they were 1 and 2. So they have hooked up now and look for that pair of the 99 and 26 to work their way to the front. Trucks are spreading out a little bit on the racetrack now. Tried to get looks like 6 trucks in the front breakaway pack. And Jason Beach and LG Whaley are up there in 5th and 6th. Jason, Loy, and Helge are running 1-2. Tony Oldham and Joe Thompson are 3rd and 4th. It's 80 degrees here today, and the water temperatures on these trucks, you can only push for about a lap, maybe a lap and a half. You'll see the trucks separate. One truck will go high, sometimes just to get some air. The other one will go down below him, and they'll actually swap positions. But you have to breathe that truck every now and then to keep the engine from overheating and blowing up. Got two more trucks have pulled up to that front pack. Looks like the 30 truck. The 30 truck, Philip Carsley and Michael have caught up to that lead pack. So we have 8 trucks now in that lead pack, and then a separation back to the main pack behind them. You've got nice speakers hooked up to your computer or watching this on your TV, crank up that sound. There's nothing any better than trucks full song here at Talladega Motor Speedway. Like up front, our 2 leaders have switched, so Helge can be out front. He had been pushing Jason, and now he's getting some air. If you'll take a look across the top of your screen there, we have the running order. Great little ticker there giving you running positions. The lead pack is broken away. They're almost 2 seconds ahead of the cars back there. And in 9th position is Ron Bouchard, 10th Brian Bouchard, Kevin Crane in 11th, Tom Casco in 12th. And they're leading that second pack, which is dropping back from this lead group. As long as these lead trucks stay single file and stay in each other's draft, they're going to pull away from that second group behind them. But Jason Loy's back out front now in that 73. They're making the swap. You have to be very because when you switch, usually the front driver will go up a lane, the guy in the back will stay on the bottom. You have to be careful when you come back down, because the draft of that front truck will sometimes suck the guy behind you up into that hole. So when you come down, you have to make sure you're clear and that you don't cause any problems when you make that swap. Just started lap 9 of 113 laps here today, and everybody's doing a great job drafting and in the pack. Helgi and Jason have pulled away a little bit from the 6 trucks behind them, and what they're doing is it seems like they're trying to run the queue line, which breaks the draft with the trucks immediately behind them, and sometimes they can get a little bit of separation by doing that. And they're pushing really hard because they're having to swap about every lap and a half. Some of the guys behind them haven't made that many swaps because they're sticking the nose out and breathing the truck and getting some air. Back in that second pack, the 15 truck of Buddy Waters is leading that second group, and the 21 is pushing him right now. Those guys are trying to catch that lead pack. That's Tom in the 21. Rodney Smith's back there in 11th, and David Saunders in the 300 truck is in 12th. That front group pretty much staying single file and maintaining that little over 2.2 seconds now on the second group behind them. These guys are all racing for position, and when you get side by side, even if you're slightly in front or behind the other guys, that kind of slows you up a little bit because you're not in the draft in a very streamlined way. And but they're racing for position. They're trying to get back up there. And if 4, 5, 6 of those trucks get lined up on the bottom, they will be able to make some ground on the lead pack. But they're going to have to really work together. This is a long race. Got several pit stops to be made. If we stay green, 38 to 42 laps is about as far as you can go here on a green flag run. But some of these guys may have the trucks all tuned up, and then if you're drafting, you get a little bit better gas mileage. So the guys out front are the ones that are burning the most fuel, and they're going to be looking to go pit road much sooner. We got 3 wide back in this second group here. So these guys are racing hard. Talladega's very wide. There's plenty of room for 3 wide, but the dirty air around you moves the trucks around, buffets the trucks, and you really have to stay up on top of the wheel. Whoa, there was almost a crash. You saw in that pack there. Yeah, the Federated Auto Parts truck there a few minutes ago. Another truck got together, and it was kind of squirrely. Thought we may have an accident, but there he is right there, that 31 truck, rubbing rubbing fenders at 196 miles an hour is pretty hairy. And I'm sure they were glad they got through that without wadding up a bunch of sheet metal. But leaders are on lap 14. So far we've been green all the way. There's going to be a caution around lap 20. None of the trucks will be allowed to pit. But in honor of Nikki Collini, we have a silent lap on lap 22. So we're going to have a caution flag at lap 20. And then, whoa, we got a wreck, the 21. Yellow, oh, a bunch of trucks got wadded up there. We're going to go back and see if we can get the 21 truck on replay and see what happened. Yep, there it is. Like I said, you touch, you get a little bit of wiggle, and truck goes around, and wow. The 21 went up a little bit, came back down. There was his partner went down, and he wasn't clear of the 65 truck on the bottom, and clipped his nose, and then that started that big wreck. Then he spun back up in the track and was hit several times by several other trucks. So our first yellow is out for the day. Our Ford Mustang pace car has picked up the field, and I mean, look at the replay. The trucks are sliding, spinning around, decelerating from almost 200 miles an hour, and got quite a few trucks pitting here. All the leaders are coming to pit road. They'll probably get just fuel only, is my guess. We're early in the race, got a long way to go. So we'll see how many take tires and how many don't. Looks like everybody just took a splash of fuel to top off of that Sunoco racing fuel. They're coming back out on the racetrack. But our first caution came out on lap 16, and guys are going to have a lot of sheet metal to repair there. Get that damage fixed and get back out on the racetrack. Looks like the 427 Stan Culpepper did not pit, and he may be our leader here under yellow. It looks like Brian Bouchard's truck was damaged beyond repair, and Brian has left the race. Taking the car back to the garage, and probably going to put it in the hauler and exit through the tunnel and be the first ones at the McDonald's drive-thru on the way home. There's several apps that we'd like to talk about under this yellow. One of them is Drive Alive. It's an app for your telephone. So if you have that service available in your area, please do that. This is the PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. This is our monthly race, and this race is dedicated to Sam Bass. And Sam Bass Galleries is who we're promoting and help support this month. So go to sambass.com and look at the great historical NASCAR art that's available there. The 46 truck of William Tarkington is our leader, and Williams is has one of the new paint schemes on his truck today. And Sam Bass Galleries, sambass.com. Thank you, William, for supporting Sam Bass and his gallery there. Very glad you're up front. That beautiful blue Chevy Silverado truck looks fantastic. What's really neat is within the iRacing community, there's a program called Trading Paints. And in Trading Paints, you can download and paint your truck with your own custom paint scheme. The guys within iRacing community that don't have Trading Paints see pretty much stock paint jobs that are available on the iRacing format. But if you like racing and like what you're seeing here today, go to iRacing.com and you can sign up with iRacing and become a member. You need a steering wheel and some pedals, Logitech. I'm not promoting anybody particularly, but you can get them on eBay and Amazon. But you can get a basic starter set of steering wheel and pedals for about $125 from bestbuy.com online. But you can go to iRacing.com, check out the specifications for what you need for a basic computer, and you can join us here on iRacing and allproracing.com and join a league and come and race with us. We'd love to have you join us. But part of this racing community is Pad Motorsports, and through Pad Motorsports we promote real life pad at racetracks around the country and also in the iRacing community. So we're glad you're here today, and we're going to have our yellow flag may be extended, but these beautiful paint schemes, if you're online and you have Trading Paints, you're seeing some of these really cool paint schemes that these guys have put on their trucks. And our producer back in the studio, I'd like to thank him very much. He refreshed his iRacing program, and now you too can see that Sam Bass truck, the blue 46, which is pacing our field. We're too wide, and I'm not sure if we're going back to green, but we'll find out in just a minute. I do not have communication with race control. Yep, looks like the lights are out on the pace car, and we may be going back green this time. A lot of our contestants here today are former drag racers, round track racers. Some have worked in NASCAR, and some have still have affiliations with race teams. But the green flag is out, and we are back racing at Talladega. And there's a drag race down into turn 1. Field's all bunched up again, so that advantage that our pack had out front has gone away, and everybody's right back in the thick of things. See, that red truck got hung out on the outside there. He's looking for a place to get down at the bottom. Wood kind of forced his way in there. Jason Beach had to back out of it to allow him in without causing a big wreck. That's good sportsmanship, but that could have taken a lot of people out of the race. All right, the yellow is now out, and I think this is our mandatory caution for lap 22. And the cars are slowing down. When the yellow comes out, you don't want to check up too fast. You'll get run over by the guy behind you. So everybody decreases speed, and of course the pace car is going to come out, speed up, and he'll catch you up to the front of the field. Some of the pad sponsors are also Team Driving Solutions and Knott's Hydrographics, CJ's Graphics, again, Thumb Tide. But all of these sponsors help us promote PAD in the virtual world of racing here. And if they're in your area, we encourage you to check those out. But you can go to pad.net and pad.org websites to see the information about PAD and the PAD organization. But once again, thank you for watching. And the cars are behind the pace car here, single file. And we're coming to lap 22, and we're going to observe a moment of silence to remember Nikki Collini, who was killed she died April 15th, over a year ago. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much for allowing us to do one lap of silence in memory of Nikki. Our racers today are actually not racing just for fun. We actually have payouts. We give some iRacing dollars to the first 5 positions, and the winner gets a custom paint job on his truck or car, whichever he prefers. And the other drivers through the top 5 get iRacing dollars as well as discounts off of their paint jobs. So we'd like to thank our official painter for taking care of that. But the iRacing community is a big family. If you've ever been to the NASCAR Hall of Fame up in Charlotte, North Carolina, they have full-size race cars in the Hall of Fame with 2 what we call sim rigs in each one, and you can actually go there and race online on the computer system at the current track the NASCAR is racing at that week. So it's a very neat experience. They have a great staff there, so if you have a weekend and you're going to be in Charlotte or through the week, they're open 7 days a week, open daily at 10 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. But if you're in Charlotte, go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame and go out to the Speedway, and at the end where turn 1 and 2 is, the street right beside the Speedway, you will find Sam Bass Galleries. And stop by the galleries. They are open Monday through Friday. But during race week, they're open extended hours, but you can check out their hours online at sambass.com. And give Carrie a call and tell her we told you to call. Just call up and say hi and tell her that you saw the broadcast today. And still the 46 car, William Tarkington's car's got that beautiful Sam Bass paint scheme. Beautiful blue truck, and he is leading the field as we get ready to go back double file. This lap was going to be 1 to go and get back racing here at Talladega. And we're on lap 24 now of 113 in today's race. Once again, our top 5 are William Tarkington. Helge is in 2nd, Tony Oldham 3rd, Stan Culpepper 4th, Jason Loy, our pole sitter, is 5th, Jason Beach is 6th, Michael in the 83 is 7th, Philip Carsley's in 8th, Joe Thompson in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Mark Maffitt. Talladega's 2.66 miles, has 4 turns. It's the highest banked race car on the NASCAR circuit. The turns on each end are 33 degrees banking, and they're about 6 stories high. The front stretch is 4,300 feet long and banked 18 degrees. And when you come out of turn 2 down that 4,000 foot backstretch, it's only banked 2 degrees. So there's a big transition from 33 degrees down to 2. Track flattens out, and then once you get down to turn 3, you're right back up at 33 degrees again, and it's quite a transition. It's very, very interesting perspective to walk up that racetrack or drive on that racetrack, which I have done in a street car, and have it be leaning that much. 33 degrees is pretty steep. The pace car is pulling off the track here very shortly, and we will be going back green. Listen to these engines roar. Takes the trucks about a lap and a half to get up to full speed. As they go through the turn now, they're running 188 miles an hour, 189. And Tony Oldham on the outside in the 03 have pulled out to a slight lead. Of course, they haven't officially crossed that start-finish line, and that's where they get credit for leading the lap. And sure enough, right now, we have a new leader on lap 26. The 036, Tony Oldham, is our new leader here at Talladega. And they're down in that bottom lane, which is the preferred way around the racetrack. Very interesting here at Talladega. The bottom lane, if you run a 54 flat, the same speed on the outside is a 1/10 of a second further around the racetrack. You have to be a 1/10 of a second faster on the outside, one full lap, to maintain what the guys on the bottom are running. So same thing happens up at the top lane. If you're on the top lane, it's 2/10 slower. So you really have to be moving to make a pass on the outside and have good drafting help. So the tires here will last about 70 laps. So most people will go a fuel run or two and take tires on the second fuel stop. The left sides actually will last probably 3 fuel runs. So when we get to that next pit stop, you're probably going to see some 2 tire changes. People taking just right sides, or they may take all 4. Close racing up here, 2 by 2 in that lead pack. Cars are moving around a lot. LG Whaley just moved down to the bottom. He'd been trying to get going on the outside. He's in the back of that pack now on the lower side of the racetrack. And I'm sure he's trying to get up to that 26 of Jason Beach. They work well together, and I'm sure they're looking for each other. Helgi and Tony have switched. Now Helgi's our new leader. Tony's dropped back to push him around for a lap and a half or so. Looks like Tony's poking out to get a little bit of air. Here at Talladega, the yellow stripe you see on the bottom of the racetrack is out of bounds. You cannot go below the yellow line to make a pass. If you do, you'll be disqualified and given a black flag. But you want to protect that yellow line and not let anybody get up under you. Once again, that bottom lane there is the preferred line. The 46 is running back in 5th position now, and our leaders are swapping again. See Helgi go high up next to the top lane. Tony stayed on the bottom, and there was plenty of room for Helgi to drop back in and get right in behind Tony. They're trying that same move that Jason did earlier in the race, trying to go up a little bit in the corners and break that draft and get a little bit of separation, but didn't work that time. We're on lap 30 of our 113 lap main event today at Talladega, Alabama. What you're watching today is the best of the best in the truck series here on iRacing. The 2 qualifying races, they took 14 or 15 from each one. There are a few drivers that have exemptions that get in the races. But these guys have hundreds and hundreds of laps at this track, and they spend countless hours working on setups. The iRacing world is so realistic that the actual setups they run in the real trucks in NASCAR move right over into these sim racing cars. When iRacing makes a body change in the trucks, which they did this year, they actually changed the model within iRacing So the aerodynamics of the truck changes here just as it does in NASCAR. Same thing with the Cup cars and Nationwide cars. They try to make this as realistic as possible because many of the many of the racing teams in Mooresville and Concord and all around the Charlotte area have sim rigs in their shops. And there's, I think, 9 rookie drivers this year in Winston in Sprint Cup. And they go and practice in the sim rigs on tracks they haven't raced at much because it's so realistic. The aerodynamics, the speeds are identical. The horsepower, the weight ratios. If you drive this truck here and you go to the racetrack, it's going to pretty much do the exact same thing that you're seeing here today. And these guys that are driving these trucks probably could put L.G. Whaley, who's a young 76 years old, in a truck, and he could probably do pretty good at the real racetrack. But it's quite amazing what iRacing has done, assimilating the real life racing to the actual sim racing here at Talladega. Getting kind of racy in that front pack there. First 9 or 10 trucks are single filed and they're double wide back there. The air makes these trucks move around and gets pretty hairy at times. That front pack has 18 trucks in it, and they're all running 2x2, kind of like Noah's Ark. You get 2 guys paired up together, and they're pretty much committed to helping each other draft. And back in about 12th and 13th is L.G. Whaley and Jason Beach. They finally have got hooked up together, and they're making a move right up there. Actually, one truck went up 3 wide, and they're trying to come up in the second lane. Jason pulled down in that bottom lane, and then LG dropped down there with him. But, you know, it's like chess at 195 miles an hour. That lead pack is separated from the rest of the field just a little bit, but we've got quite a good race going on. All right, they're approaching a lap truck here as they come out of turn 2 rather. No, it's turn 4. A couple of trucks are pitting. I think LG and Jason are pitting for fuel and tires. And the lap truck went high side, and everybody's going under him. Like I said, pit strategy plays a lot in this, and apparently LG and Jason decided they wanted to be the first ones to pit for gas and get fresh tires. They left. Looks like Jason and LG may have developed an engine problem or something. They have actually gone to the garage. So I'm not sure what happened, but may have pushed too long and trucks overheated, and they have retired those 2 vehicles from the race. Like our leaders have got some company coming on the outside. Tony and Helgi are on the bottom, and got a challenger up there looking for that lead spot. Buddy Waters, who is running a Sound Bass paint scheme, and Ryan Bouchard are right up there trying to make it work. So you got the 15 and the 47 trying it on the outside. They got up beside them. And you get a good run here at Talladega with the wind the way it is. It's not much. It's 5 miles an hour. Out of 4, you get a tailwind. When you enter 1 and 2, you've got a little bit of headwind. And it doesn't seem like much, but these trucks are big, boxy trucks. They have a very big square profile in the front, and a little bit of headwind can slow you up. And that outside, that wind hits you, it'll make you back up a little bit. Tony and Helge are swapping again, and Helge was able to get back down behind Tony. And he's pulling right to his bumper and starting that big push. I got to hand it to these guys. Had that one wreck, but these guys are doing a great job driving these vehicles today. A lot of concentration involved. You've got to listen to your spotter. You've got to look in the mirrors. You've got to watch the trucks on either side of you, because it can happen in just a split second. Looks like the first 6 trucks have got together and separated themselves just a little bit. And then behind them, there's another group of 6. But if they stay racing 2 and 3 wide, they're going to be caught up to that front pack in just a minute or two. That's a great shot of the 36 and 03 there on the banking. You can get some idea of how steep the bank is here at Talladega. We got the 46 truck pitting. He was our leader early on, but it should be quite a few of them making green flag pit stops here on lap 42. That's right in that fuel window. The 83 truck is also leaving pit road. So it's green flag pit stops. Big thing about making pit stops here is you don't want to speed. If you speed on pit road, you have to come back in, make a stop and go penalty, and that will certainly cost you a lap. Yeah, there's getting a shot, a replay of the 46 truck in his pits as he rolls away. But pit stops are a must, but one thing you can't do. And if you and your partner pit together and he gets a black flag for speeding and you don't, then you've either got to slow up and wait on him or hope you get back out on the track and catch up with the draft and maybe find a new partner. I would suspect that within the next 4 or 5 laps, our leaders are going to have to pit. So Tony and Helge will be looking to come to pit road, as well as others in that lead pack. Boy, the truck slid across the nose of the guy pushing him in the 47. I believe almost lost it. He was getting down behind the 15 and almost had a big one there. I mean, you're talking about 198 miles an hour going off into the turn, inches apart. You don't use the brake here. The only time you use the brakes when you're going to pit. But, you know, there's not feet between these trucks. There's inches between them. And they'll use the side draft. You'll see the guys in the top lane sometime get as close to the trucks on the bottom as possible. What they're trying to do is suck a little air off the side of that truck on the bottom, which will pull them forward to allow them to help make the pass. What a great shot out the back of that H2O truck there. And the truck right behind him's got the pad logo on it. But very, very close racing here at Talladega. You've watched the live races on TV in real life. There is the big one every now and then. So everybody's trying their best not to be involved in that wreck whenever it happens. We are 46 laps into the race. We still have 20 trucks on the lead lap. And the first truck a lap down is Michael Vandersol, and he's one lap down. William Tarkington is a lap down. Now that's a leader earlier than me. So if the caution comes out now, they're in real trouble. They need for this thing to stay green, and all the 20 trucks in front of them make their pit stops in order for them to get back on the lead lap. In our race today, we've had 2 cautions and 18 official lead changes. Like I said before, the lead changes only count at the start-finish line. We probably had close to 60 lead changes out on the track, but the only one that counts is the one right at the start-finish line. Still got, like I say, 20 trucks on the lead lap. They are going to have to make a pit stop if we stay under green, and that will allow those guys that have already pitted to cycle back around and get back on the lead lap. Right now we're showing 4 trucks, 1 lap down. Michael in the 83, William in the 46, Chris in the 23, and Ronnie Royal in the 31. Eric Rodman is 2 laps down, and Tom Cassio is 2 laps down. Brad Parks is 2 laps down, Mike Collini and Ronald Jones. So they may get wave around if they stay out if a yellow comes out, but great racing here at Talladega today. In our cars in sim racing, there's some great cameras. We have bumper cams in the front and the rear, suspension cams. We have a gyro cam. If our producer could dial up the gyro cam on one of these trucks and let you see what it looks like and just how much these trucks tilt when they go into the turn. You get a real perspective of 33 degrees. And just any truck, the gyro cam is mounted up on the roll cage, and it stays horizontal. And when the truck goes in the corner, the truck tilts and the camera stays the same. And you get a great shot out the window, and you can see what effect that 33-degree banking has when you enter that turn. And also when you come out of turn 2, it flattens out on the backstretch. But the G-force and the transitions here from 33 degrees is very amazing. There's a Sam Bass truck. You're looking at the 46 truck there on the replay, on the live shot on TV. But there we go. There's the gyro cam from inside the cockpit. And look how much the truck tilts in the turns. It's just quite amazing how much that truck moves. We're going down the 2-degree backstretch now. And we're looking, you can see right straight out the front window here a little bit. And we're going back in the turns, and you can get some idea. Watch the truck tilt. That's what it looks like from inside the driver's perspective at 198 miles an hour at Talladega Speedway. Thank you, Mr. Producer. That's a great shot. That will kind of give everybody an idea what it's like being inside the cockpit of one of these trucks here at Talladega. We got a truck blowing up. Looks like the 46 truck has pushed too long. He's going to pit road. He's smoking badly. Yeah, it's William Tarkington. He led earlier. He's sporting that beautiful Sam Bass paint job. Looks like the truck got too hot. The water temps in these things, when they get to 300 degrees, you're in trouble. They changed the aero package a little bit. The actual digital dashes in here, the indicator will flash red. You get about 2 flashes and then you're in trouble. So he's trying to nurse that thing back to pit road. But looks like William in the 46 has damaged that motor, and may be able to put some water in it and get him back out. We'll have to see. But he's coming to pit road now. He's checking up so he doesn't speed. Whoa, he slid the tires a little bit. He's 53 miles an hour. He's probably going to serve a little bit of a penalty, but it's important to get to that pit box and see if he can't get that truck fixed. So he's down on the apron, out of everybody's way, so the yellow didn't come out, which helped everybody else out on the racetrack. All right, yep. William got the truck repaired, put some water in it, and he's back on the track. Jason Loy is now out in front. Woo, got a truck way out of control up against the wall. The 4 truck, he was pushing the red truck in front of him, and he lost it and banged that wall a little bit. That's not going to help the aerodynamics of that truck at all. We're coming up on halfway. Next lap by will be halfway here at the 113 lapper for Pad at Talladega. And like I say, we've had those 2 caution flags, and guys are doing a great job out here racing. So the 96 and the 83 make a swap on the high side. Track's plenty wide. And if you're in the upper lane, you can go to the top and use the top 2 lanes to make the swap. truck that got into the wall a little earlier has dropped back from the lead pack. I'm sure he's got some aerodynamic damage on that right front, probably flattened the side of that truck. They depend on that right side of that truck to actually make the truck turn. They flare the fenders out off the tires, and the profile of that truck is very important when they go through the corners to keep the truck attitude in the proper position and make it turn. So if you get up against the wall and crush that sheet metal out there, it's going to slow you up a good bit because you just cannot maintain the speed in the corners with damage to that right side of that truck. And he's dropping back from that lead pack considerably now, back there by himself, probably waiting on his teammate, the 96, I believe. They're swapping again there. So these guys are pushing really hard, trying to get separated. But Michael Johnson in that 4 is, if you look at the side of the truck, the paint's scraped, sheet metal's crushed in, and they try to pull that out when he makes a pit stop. But that's definitely caused some damage and slowing his truck up considerably. And I think Michael was one of the trucks that had pitted earlier and went a lap down. So he was trying to hang on to that lead pack. They were a lap down, but they were right behind the leaders, which means when the lead trucks pit, if he had been able to stay up there with them, they would have come out right in front of him or right behind him. Because the time you slow down to pit road speed and accelerate, enter back on the backstretch, the whole process takes pretty close to 49 to 50 seconds to slow down, stop for the pit stop. Now everybody on the lead lap right now is probably praying for a yellow, because if the yellow comes out, there's quite a few trucks back there, and our leaders are pitting. Tony and Helgi are pitting on pit road now. And Tony and Helgi pitted one pit box apart, so they came in together. Their pit stalls are one in front, one right behind, so that's going to make it great getting off. Looks like they both finished service at the same time. They're pulling away, and Tony's going to come right out on the track behind Helgi, and that's a perfect pit stop for teammates. That's exactly the way you want it to happen. Nobody got caught speeding coming in. You exit the pits together, get back up to speed, merge back into traffic. There's Tony's truck coming to a stop. And Helgi's 03 on replay, and the guys have done a great job. Now once the pit stop cycle through, it'll be interesting to see where they come back out. If we stay green, everybody has to make that pit stop under green. With their pit stops, we've got 19 trucks now still on the lead lap. Quite a few guys have made their pit stops. Tony and Helgi come out 7th and 8th place. Back up front, our leader currently is Jason Loy with Joe Thompson in 2nd, Mark Maffitt 3rd, Philip Carsley in 4th, Ryan Bouchard 5th, Buddy Waters in 6th, Helgi's in 7th, Tony Oldham is in 8th, Tony Higby's in 9th, and 10th is Sean in the 3 truck. Got a new leader. Philip Carsley in the 30 truck is our leader, with Mark Mappett giving him a push in that colorful 10 truck. Philip Carsley's a teammate of mine. We are sponsored by Wiley X Sunglasses, and Wiley X is one of our sponsors, and Philip lives up in Canada. He's a big Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan, and has a 3 on the post of his cars and trucks, and puts that Canadian flag right there on the flat deck of that Silverado Chevrolet truck. Now, something interesting just happened. They made a switch, and there wasn't enough room for Philip to get back down behind Mark, so Mark has to come up in front of Philip in that middle lane so they can stay hooked up together. And guess what? I think we have a new leader. Yep. Tony Oldham and Helge were 7th and 8th as they merged back with traffic, and they have marched right back up to the front of the pack. So our lead trucks, that group of 6 or 8 trucks, is still right there together. These guys are all fast. Buddy Waters is hanging on to the tail end of that lead pack there. He's trying his best to get sucked back up to the back to get with his partner. But we've got that 8 truck breakaway, and then it is over about 3.5 seconds back to the second group. So they've got a good gap on the rest of the field there. But through 12th place is 8 seconds behind the leader. And then we're about to get a truck that may be in danger of being lapped. John Kim in the 20 truck and Brian Bouchard in the 14 truck are 45 seconds behind. So if this lead pack stays single file and runs them down, they could be lapped in the next 4 to 5 laps quite easily. Once again, this is PADD, P-A-D-D. Go to PADD.org or PADDracing.net. Find out about our racing league. But People Against Distracted Driving. You can be an advocate for saving lives in your community. If you'll go to our website and send us an email, we can keep in touch with you. If you want to get a sign for your community or some brochures to hand out in your organization, we'd be glad to make that happen for you. But PADD.org or PADDracing.net. Tony's poking that nose out to get a little bit of air so they don't have to make the switch. And they're coming up on a 4 or 5 cars that are in danger of being a lap down, just a few seconds ahead of them there. Buddy Waters has lost the draft. I'm sure he'd like to get back up there with the car at the tail end of this route, which is the 47. But Buddy's dropped back quite a few seconds. Yeah, he was right at the tail end of that lead draft, and he's back right now. Oh, a little over 3.5 seconds behind the lead group. There's a couple of trucks about 8/10 behind him that he can probably catch up with. Let them catch up to him, and maybe they can run the pack back down. There's the back of Buddy Waters' truck. You'll see in a minute on replay. Once again, he's sporting one of the Sound Bass paint schemes. There's those two trucks that passed him that he was looking for, so he can get their draft now and hopefully catch up to that pack. Plate racing, the restrictor plate racing here and at Daytona is all about using the air. You have to know where to make the moves, where not to make the moves. The wind direction's vital, as I mentioned earlier. You got a headwind when you come out of 2, a tailwind when you come off turn 4, so you get a push. So today, with the way the wind direction is, best place to make a pass is going to be exiting turn 4 through the trial. But you got to get it accomplished by the start-finish line, because as soon as you go into 1 and 2, you pick up that headwind again. So it's pretty vital to helping you make the right decisions and moves. And the truck in front of you puts a big hole in the air. So when you get right behind him, you actually have to back out of the gas a little bit to keep from running over the guy in front of you. So like I say, the second truck will save a little bit of fuel. The guy up front's going to use a lot more. And if you're pushing, you see these guys making the swaps to keep from having a problem like William did and blow the engine or overheat it and have to go put water back in the truck. Now, leaders are coming up on the 35 truck right there at the stripe, and they just put the 35 truck a lap down. And that's Mike Collini in the 35 truck. Mike is the president of PAD, and it was his daughter that we lost. That was the reason that PAD was started, and he's a great man and has a great heart for saving lives. So thank you, Mike Collini. Yeah, Mike actually has a photograph of Nikki on the back deck of his truck, and quite a few of our racers here have the PAD logos on there and have tribute to Nikki. And he's got it on the hood of his truck today. Nikki Collini. Lost way too young. Pit stops happening here. Got some guys. Joe Thompson, 88 and 4th, is pitting. So got a lot of activity here on pit road. It's like Helgi and Tony are back in the pits too. 88's off pit road. 73, the 036, the 03 at lap 74. Didn't get quite as good a gas mileage that time. It went roughly 42 laps the last time pitting here on 74. So imagine the tires were going away as well. So we're getting back up to speed on the track. So our second cycle of green flag pit stops on lap 74 of 113. And right now Helge's in 13th and Tony's in 12th. And after this pit stop cycle out, we'll see where they get back into the action. Right now, our leader is Mark Maffitt, running in seconds, Philip Carsley, and they should be having to make a pit stop pretty soon, but they are our current leaders. Race with Mark and Philip a good bit. They're very competitive, fast, and the leaders are pitting now, so we've got Philip Carsley and Mark coming to pit road. We'll take a look and see what they take as far as tires and gas. Mark stopped in his pits, 76 laps now. Looks like Mark's taking fuel only. Yep, took 2 full tanks of Sunoco racing fuel. He's pulling back out, and Philip is right behind him. So they're going to stay together. Looks like nobody got zinged for a speeding ticket. But proper etiquette here is when you exit the pits to stay below the yellow line until you get to the backstretch. And once you are on the backstretch, then you can merge back up onto the speedway and back into traffic. But you don't want to come out in turn 1 or 2. That is the fastest part of the racetrack and a very dangerous place to enter the track. Getting a good picture of the 30 truck there. Got a picture of Dale Earnhardt on the side. And we'll put a little plug in for Cameron Wilson. He's one of our custom painters, and he painted that truck as well as the Cup car as a tribute to Dale Earnhardt Sr. And Philip is pushing him pretty hard. You see the truck, it's kind of moving back and forth across the back. That dirty air back there makes that second truck move around. And you've got to be very careful not to push on the left rear corner, because what will actually happen is you'll turn the truck and spin him out. So you have to be very precise when you're pushing it 190 miles an hour. Got an in-car camera from Philip's truck there as they made that switch, and the 65 had rolled up under the bottom, so Philip had to go up top and pick Mark up after they made the switch. That's one of the maneuvers you have to do here to keep from causing the trucks behind you to check up, because when you separate, you're going to slow up 5 or 6 miles an hour, and those guys behind you are at full speed, so you got to give them plenty of room. Next time by, we'll have about 33 laps of racing remaining, and that probably was the last pit stop they'll have to make if we don't have a caution. So these guys are going to be running hard because this could take us to the end of the race. And this is very interesting. Our new leader is Ron Bouchard in the 47. Well, Mike Collini is actually pushing Ron, as Ron didn't have a partner. His partner had some problems and they got separated. But Mike's working with Ron, and Ron is in the lead right now. This shows you the sportsmanship that goes on here. Mike Collini's 3 laps down. He loves racing. He's out there with his paint scheme on the truck. And loving every minute of pushing that guy who's leading the race. They're working around the 12 truck, who's a lap or more down. And Ron takes it to the outside. Mike's up there pushing him right past that 12 truck who's running by himself. Once they clear the 12 truck, 47 and 35 work their way back down to that bottom lane, shortest way around the racetrack. Encountering some more lap traffic. There's the truck on the outside. He went up high against the wall to give the leaders plenty of room. Now, Ryan had pitted kind of out of sequence. Don't know if, he probably has to make another pit stop. I don't know when he last pitted, but right now he's got 5 seconds on second and third. So if he's good to go, he's in pretty good shape. But I think they've got one more pit stop to go because Brad Patterson, David Williams, Joe Thompson, Jason Lloyd, they're some 30 seconds back. So 4th through 9th and 10th are 30 plus seconds back. So that kind of lets me know that the 47, the 3, and maybe the 58 of Tony, they may have to make one more pit stop. But this is a pretty good chess game at 200 miles an hour, I tell you. The funny thing is that the Collini truck and the 47 are both primarily purple there, so they really look good on the racetrack together. They're passing the 300 truck, which is another Sam Bass paint scheme. You've got a picture of Sam on the back of the truck and some beautiful artwork on there. running by yourself, you're probably 5 miles, 6 miles an hour faster than 2 trucks that pass you, if not more. If you're wide open and can get right in their draft, sometimes you can tag onto them. But usually 2 trucks are going to pull away from that 3rd truck in pretty short fashion, just because of the speed that they overtake you with. Now they're coming up on the Federated Auto truck and the 23 there. We're going to go the cockpit of our leader here and let you see from the leader's perspective. The 23 and 31 are running roughly 20th and 21st lap down. So now our leader's gonna duck down possibly and get a little bit of air off those 2 trucks that they're gonna pass and give Mike a little bit of a breather. But the guy that's helping you and pushing you, you've got to make sure you give him enough air when you're not swapping so he can keep his truck cool. Tell what, Mike's doing a great job with with Ryan there. He's opened his lead up over 2nd and 3rd to 8.5 seconds. So I hope he gives Mike Collini at least a portion of this paycheck if he should win this race, because he's got a great partner there keeping him out front. There's an in-car shot on board with our leader. And they've ducked down behind those 2 lap down trucks. One reason would be save gas and conserve a little bit of fuel for the end of the race. I know you watch the Cup races, and Junior would have given probably $10,000 for 4 ounces of fuel last week. He sputtered coming out of turn 2, and Keselowski passed him for the win. But sometimes 4 ounces of fuel is the difference in winning or losing a race. Lap 92 we're on now, and it's looking pretty good for Ryan Bouchard if he doesn't have to make another pit stop. That's a pretty paint job on that 47 Silverado Chevrolet truck. One of the things in sim racing is internet connections. You might have noticed the 35 truck disappeared momentarily and came back. Whether you have cable, DSL, every now and then we experience some internet problems, which will cause the truck to blink or disappear completely. Occasionally your communications will drop below what iRacing deems acceptable, and you just kind of vanish from the racetrack. But Mike's back, and that one little flicker, hopefully it stays good for the rest of the race. I really think that Ryan's trying to save a little bit of fuel because they had overtaken those 2 lap trucks, and they've stayed right in there behind them to get their draft and save some fuel. To go. Wow. It's hard to believe that we've gone so far without a yellow. It gets kind of racy down toward the end of the race, but looks like everybody's pretty content right now. Let's check out our top 10 again. Got Tony Higbee in the 58 second. Sean in the 3 is third. Jason Loy, who was our pole sitter, is in fourth. 32 seconds back. So I just have a feeling the 47's way out of pit cycle with everybody else, or he has to make another stop. Then you've got Joe Thompson in the 88 running 5th, Brad Patterson 6th, David Williams in 7th, Helge's in 8th, Tony Oldham in 9th, David Adamson in 10th, Philip Carsley in 11th, Mark Maffett in 12th. And Mark is in 12th. He's the last car on the lead lap. So we went from 20 cars on the lead lap our previous pit stop to only having 12 with less than 20 laps to go here at Talladega. There's a great paint job you'll be seeing on your screen of the 28 Haviland truck. Tribute to Davey Allison, I'm sure. Trading paints is a great way to pay tribute to your favorite driver or drivers from the past. And like I say, many of the people in iRacing that race with us on a weekly basis are active employees of race teams, and a lot of them have raced in the past, and I have quite a love for the sport. Got 18 laps to go. The question of the hour, does the 47 have to pit or not? I know everybody from 5th on back is hoping that he does. And they're pulling away. They're up to a 10-second lead on second place now. Tony and Sean in second and third are 10 seconds back, and then it's 31 seconds back to fourth place. And the last car on the lead lap, guess what, folks? The 47's pitting. Yep, he is coming to pit road, so he had to have fuel and tires. That's going to give the lead to Tony Higbee, I'm sure, and he may have to pit because that big pack behind him has been slowly catching him. Boy, is this going to be exciting. See how quick they can get back out and get back up to speed. This doesn't look good for Ryan. It looks like Mike may have got caught speeding coming in the pits. And if that's the case, they'll hold you in your pit stall and make you serve the 15-second penalty there because Ryan is back out on the track by himself. Yeah, I think Tony Higbee and Sean have pitted. That's going to cycle things around big time. Yes, it did. We have a new leader, our pole sitter, Jason Loy, and Joe Thompson are first and second. That was pretty sure they hadn't made their pit stops. They went way into the run, so they must have been way out of sequence with everybody else. So Jason Loy is our new leader, and 88, Joe Thompson, is running in second, with Helgi and Tony Oldham running third and fourth right now. 15 laps to go. This could get interesting, folks. Not on the edge of your seat. These drivers, if they weren't being held in with those seat belts, would be. Pit crews have done all they can do, and now it's up to the drivers to make the right decision, make the right move at the right time. But Joe Thomas in the 88, they've switched. He's now our leader. Jason Loy second. Helgi's in third, Tony Oldham in fourth. Ryan Bouchard has managed to hang on to fifth place, but it's 5 seconds back to Mark Maffitt and Philip Carsley in sixth and seventh, and they're running him down pretty quick because he seems to be there all by himself, and those two trucks are going to be a lot quicker than Sean in the 3 and Tony Higbee. After their pit stop, they're 26 seconds behind the leader. Michael in the 83 is 27 seconds back. David Williamson, Brad Patterson are 39 seconds back, with David Adamson in 13th, the last car on the lead lap. To go. There's Mark Maffitt, Philip Carsley making a move on the outside. Nothing's changed up front. Still have our two leaders. They pulled away from Tony and Helgi a little bit. Our leaders just passed the 46 truck, who was our early leader. Question is, have Helgi and Tony saved enough for the end? Got enough tires? Kept those temperatures down, not abused the motors? And can they make that pass? If I were them, I'd definitely try it off turn 4. Still got that 5-mile-an-hour tailwind. It'll help you a little bit down the front stretch. This is an interesting scenario, but the 46, he wasn't able to catch up with those guys, but William could have played a big part of that had he been able to latch on behind Tony, because 3 trucks would be faster than the 2. But they went by him too quick, and he's dropping back a little bit. So it's going to be up to Tony and Helgi here to get themselves in the right position, probably to try to make a last lap pass here at Talladega. 113 laps is what we're racing today, with 10 laps to go in the pad 113. Stay alive, don't text and drive race at Talladega Motor Speedway. The leaders are coming up on a lap truck on the outside. He stays high up against the wall. The 77 truck goes a lap down. Ryan Bouchard in the 47 still hanging on to 5th. Here they come. Tony and Helgi made a move on the inside. I couldn't quite understand why the leaders stayed out in the middle lane, but they chose to stay out in the middle. Maybe because they didn't want to be leading on that last lap, because that's where you can get that run to the finish line. Listen in to the drivers here the last few laps. See if I can catch any strategies. With 8 laps to go, it's your leader Helgi in front, Tony Oldham in second. Story of the day will be as if Ron Bouchard can hang on to that 3-second lead over 5th place. He's in 5th now. He's got a 3-second lead over Mark Packett and Philip Carsley. They're exactly 3 seconds behind him in 6th and 7th. All right, Tony and Helgi are fixing to make a swap here in turn 3. They go down the backstretch at 196 miles an hour. Tony takes it down to the bottom. He went from 196 to 193, so he lost 3 miles an hour just making that switch over. Helgi got into his bumper a little bit and almost spun him out. Wow, that was close. All right, lap 108, 6 laps remaining. What's Joe gonna do? Are they gonna try to go low, or are they gonna stay in their draft? At the end of the race, we will interview the top 3 after the race is over. So stay around for that interview. All right, our leaders are encountering some lap traffic. The leaders have encountered some lap traffic and went right up the middle. Had one truck up against the wall and then 2 trucks down low. So I'm sure that was exciting. And Joe's trying to make a move on the outside. They're going to have to switch, I believe. Oh boy, 4 laps to go. They're on lap 111 now. Quite a race going on here. Helgi's out front. Tony's pushing him as hard as he can. I just noticed the 88 poking out to cool off to get ready for that last lap charge. Just look back. Ryan Bouchard is holding a 1 second lead in 5th place over 6 and 7. So he is hanging on to that spot. 1 second with 3 laps remaining. And here we go. Tony and Helgi made a switch. And Joe Thompson and his partner came on the low side to take the lead as we come to on lap 112 at the stripe. A white flag is out. White flag racing, folks. Jason Loy, our pole sitters, our new leader. But on the outside, here comes Tony Oldham and Helgi with a big charge down the backstretch. This is going to be a photo finish for sure. And looks like Ryan Bouchard has a half a second now on 6 and 7. So he's 0.05 of a second from that 5th spot, dropping back to 6 or 7. Here they are coming through the tri-oval start-finish line. Jason Loy is the winner of the pad 113. Jason Loy is your winner. Joe Thompson second. Tony Oldham. Helgi finished in 4th. Ryan Bouchard 5th. Mark Maffett 6th. Philip Carsley 7th. Tony Higbee 8th. Sean in the 3 was 9th, and David Williams was in 10th place.
Seconds here for our official results to come in.
Top 5 guys, we're going to put you on the radio here just
one name drawn, and you will receive $5 Irish credit. We had a half
KC for Radio Live.
57, and that was Tony Oldham. He will receive $5 Irish. Yeah, I'm here.
Wow, I tell you what, half your purse needs to go to Mike Collini because he did a heck of a job keeping you up there till the pit stop. I guess, I don't know if you got speeding on pit road or what, but then you came out and ran by yourself and got some help. That was a great finish to finish 5th.
Yeah, 10-4. It was fun to come out here and race with you guys.
Well, thank you very much. Beautiful paint job on your truck, and thank you for supporting Pad and being here tonight. Now, in 4th place, we have Helgi, who worked with Tony and got an award there for leading, I think, halfway. Helgi, great race. What do you want to say to your fans?
Hello, Wayne. Thanks. Very good race. Fine drafting, and I think we had a good chance, and we were very fine in with the team, and so we can go very good. And yes, a very good race for me and for Tony. I think all fine. I have many fun. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Helgi. Yeah, it was great to watch. You did a great job switching positions. And Tony Oldham, our third place finish. Tony, great job, great teamwork. It was very close there at the finish. I mean, 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, I like to thank my team. I like to thank Helgi. He's awesome to work with, and I'm gonna tell you, I like to thank my painter, Cecil Jackson, CJ Graphics. He made a heck of a paint, and I guess the paint is what made me go so fast in this race right here because we were flying. I like to thank Joe and Jason. We worked as a team together. The last 7 or 8 laps it was on, and best man won. Thank you, Helgi. Thanks, Pad. Thanks, Mike Collini. We're here for you, buddy. Thank everybody.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. Our second place finisher by 60/100ths of a second was Joe Thompson. Joe, great job.
Yeah, thanks, sir. I'd just like to thank everybody and all the top 4 here. We all run together a lot, and it's a fun race there at the end. It's pretty close on fuel, but it was great race. And I'd like to thank Kerwin and Mike for putting this on each month, and I'm glad that Sam's doing well now.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. And now to the guy who gets the big paycheck, Jason Lloyd. He sat on the pole, won the race. Jason, you can't do much better than that.
No, I want to thank Joe T for giving me the push there at the end. Tony and Helgi for racing us clean that whole time. That was a heck of a run all around. Great racing up front that whole time. It was a lot of fun. And thank you guys for hosting this race. This was a blast. I don't get to do nearly as much super speedway racing as I used to, and this is a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much. And one last thing I wanted to mention, the Sam Bass Galleries, if you call up there within the next week and place an order, your name will be put in a hat for a drawing for a personalized poster from Sam Bass to you, and it'll be shipped to you with your order. So if you order anything from now until Monday the 24th at the end of their business day, talk to Carrie and tell her that you heard about it on the Pad Race, and she'll put your name on a piece of paper and put it in a hat, and I'm going to let Sam Bass draw the name out himself. And we'll send you a special autograph poster to you from Sam Bass. So thank you guys for racing. Thank you so much to our producer for the great job he did. Michael, thank you again. And thanks to Pad for sponsoring the race. And once again, our special recognition tonight for SamBass.com, Sam Bass's Gallery in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you very, very much. Have a great evening, and drive safe. Don't text, and stay alive.
All right, guys, that concludes this month's March DDA.
Another day in this carnival of souls. Another night settles in as quickly as it goes. The memories are shadows, ink on the page, and I can't seem to find my way home. And it's almost like your heaven's trying everything. Your heaven's trying everything to keep me out. All the places I've been and things I've seen, a million stories